On the truth train, Gypsy Rose's lies are considered especially heinous. In the Gypverse, the dedicated creators who investigate Gypsy Rose Blanchard's case are members of the truth train. These are their stories.
Hey guys, welcome to Baby Girl's World. Those who know what they're in for. Those who don't, stay tuned, bitch!
Every simple joy and unforgettable moments, and I'll open this and do
The first thing, I wish I could be with you right now. That would be a lot of fun. But I want you to know that I'm always thinking about you. You're always in my heart and mind.
I know that she wants to be my submitter / dominant wife. Both sides of the thing. What do you call it?
And take charge of anything, whether it's a relationship, a journey, or just anything in general. You are a leader. You're a master.
It's freaking hot as hell right now. I don't think we can open that freaking window back up. I just wanted nothing to be really loud. That's what I'm
Goodness gracious. Trying to think of something. Well, if I was with you, I'd get in trouble because I lied so much, and I promised her that I wouldn't lie, but you'll get cut out. Because, at first I thought you...
Welcome to, or welcome back to my video. I'm obviously sick, okay? Don't make fun of me right now. I can't help this. I'm sick as snot running down my face. I don't feel well. Okay, I've had the flu, and so I haven't been posting content, but I said I can't wait any longer. So, without further ado, okay, welcome to or welcome back. I already said that, didn't I? See what I'm saying? I'm leaving all this stuff in because it's hilarious, but my aunt is here to help me. She's from New York. Obviously, my tia is amazing. You will love her. Also, guys, look at this new vanity I got. My fiance got it for me because he loves me. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. No, he spoils me rotten, and I got it finally. I've been wanting one. Anyway, back to what I was saying. We got it for cheap, by the way. Free. It's cheap. But anyways, I just be nice to my aunt. She doesn't know anything about the Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She's new to the disease. I don't want her to get infected. I'm just having her help me for one day. She's here to help me out from the Bronx. Aunt Tia, you want to say hello?
Hi, how are ya? How are ya?
Yeah, just read this. We're going to leave the bloopers in here because you guys, I just know this is going to be hilarious. Okay. So this whole video is going to be a good time along with being very informative because we are on the truth train. You know what I'm saying? Tia Rose, go ahead. You will be talking about some current events first, and then you'll be moving on to what happened in the past. All right?
How I screw it like this? Things you do for your family. The things we do for our family. Yes, I am the Tia Rose. I don't know if she's ever told you about me, but hey, have you ever said anything about G?
Of course, Auntie.
Oh, good. She's not feeling well at all. She's had the damn flu. So I said, here I come. I'm flying out. I will see you later. And I put on my favorite dress for this event here, taking over. I have no idea what we're getting into here, but my baby niece over there, she says that she talks about a diabolical fucking disease of a fucking woman, and I'm ready to hear about it.
You got to do member of the video first.
Oh, do that first? Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you
Because
sing,
it's
though?
something that I do. Just read.
I'm gonna do it. So now it's members only? All right. And so member of the video today.
Can sing him a song.
I know, I gotta sing a song. I don't like singing.
I'm sorry. I told you yesterday what it was.
I
You
know
didn't want to
did.
listen
Don't
to me,
gotta
though. You
argue
keep
with me.
talking
You
over me.
understand? I'm here to help you. I'm not trying to talk over you. I'm trying to do this right. Oh, that's right. That one we practiced last night? That song? Okay. All right, I'll do my best. We've got member of the video, bitch. Ooh. Is that good? Yeah, that's perfect. It's JoJo for show, bitch. Yes, she is. She is wonderful, and I know she's going to love this game. So I had to let her see Tia Rose. You know what I'm saying? I'll make frequent stops out if you guys enjoy Tia Rose. I will. And I noticed this lady's name here is the Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Yeah. Why do you call her the Gypsy Rose?
She's a disease.
Oh, that's right. She said she's like a disease. She was telling me it's kind of like getting the gonorrhea. I never had that. I had chlamydia. But, anyways, that's before I met her Uncle Joe, but anyways, Uncle Joe and I been together for a long time, that was a long time ago. We're not going to hate on your girl over here. Don't judge a girl for that nonsense, Anyways, so how is everybody doing, though? It says here. So she said just go
read
ahead
off the paper.
Yeah, read off the paper. So that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, I don't know. 5 featured subscribers. I almost forgot she said we got them, too. So,
No, don't sing it. Don't sing them a song. No.
Oh. Okay, no song for you guys. Sorry. But we do have a shout out for you. We got Dana Rose, Brian Wade, Ash George, which is so weird because my niece's father's name is George and her name is Ashley. Isn't that crazy? And then we got Avatar Q4 and Mama Shell. I love it. How are you guys doing? Hopefully everybody's doing okay after the bitter cold, the ice, and the snow that happened. Oh my God, you guys. I'm so glad that I left New York when I did because I came here to help her. And all of a sudden, all this snow took over my whole town, you guys. And all this cold, all this ice, whatever. There's accidents all over. And I'm just so happy that I'm here because not hardly anything happened. Where you would assume things would happen. I'm here, like I said, because baby girl
Just
sick.
read the stuff.
Well, I'm reading it, like you said over there.
Now you're going to get into the nitty gritty of it all. Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
Oh, okay. So this person here that she's talking about, her name is Bree. So y'all, this is current events, as she says. Current events. Okay. So we got like this person, Bree. Oh, Bree's her best friend. Okay. But, he says here that Gypsy Rose is using you, Bree. Says here, says she deleted some video, but, this person, Lauren, has the TikTok reposted. So let's take a look at it over here.
I love you guys so much and thank you so much for the support. You guys are the most amazing supporters. I love my Gyp babes. I love my Gyp babes. Hey, good morning everybody. So I wanted to make a quick video because I know that there are so many people that are confused about this account versus the 9 million account. So I'm going to kind of recap for you guys, like keep you guys in the loop. So what happened was over the Christmas holiday, I gave access to my 9 million account to my friend Bree. And I want to also clarify, Bree is not my manager.
Gypsy Rose is once again clearing up the confusion by somehow confusing us even more, this time with another conflicting hacking story. And it feels less like an explanation and more like damage control, especially since creators have started calling out GRB over the unconvincing receipts. One thing she wants to make crystal clear is her friend Bree is not her manager. Even though Bree put in the bio of the over 9 million follower account that Gypsy Rose had gifted her on Christmas, she put that she was Gypsy Rose's manager, but she's not.
She is not employed by me. My manager was actually Mike Stanfield, my former criminal defense attorney. He and I are no longer in a business partnership, so he's no longer my manager. I actually don't have a manager. I manage my own business affairs, but I just wanted to kind of clear that up. Bree never was employed by me or had any influence in or authority in my business affairs. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay, you guys got that? Bree is not Gypsy Rose's manager. Gypsy Rose is not one to be managed. Even when she had Mike Stanfield, she rarely took his advice. She had even said, allegedly, to her former PR person, "Don't get in my way." You saw what happened to the last person that did, meaning Dee Dee. I believe that she does not have a manager because any good manager would have advised against handing over an over 9 million follower account, especially to somebody that is controversial, that has stirred up drama online, that is constantly infused with other creators. On top of that, recently arrested for mathematics. That is just a recipe to lose an account.
So anyway, and Bree is my dear friend. Like, she is my dear friend. So anyway,
But mark my words, she is distancing herself from that friend because that friend does not fit into the brand, the rebrand of a rebrand of a rebrand that is mommy Christian influencer slash podcaster. Here's where it starts to get messy.
I needed a break from the app. I literally just didn't want to be on the app. So I was like, here, take the account. And she said in a live stream, if I ever wanted it back, she would be more than happy to give it back. So she was just like managing, a placeholder for me. So,
A placeholder. How dehumanizing. I can't even imagine how Bree must have felt when she heard that. Pisces, you are not my placeholder, girl, okay? Clearly, GRB is saying that she gave Bree the account. Bree offered to give it back, right? So why was Bree saying she's managing it with Gypsy? They have some big, exciting things coming up. Now, this was after she originally said that Gypsy did gift it to her on Christmas, but this was in a live stream, and the chat quickly pointed out that you cannot just give TikTok accounts away. I guess it was a gift, but now she's taking it back. Did Bree just get
fast forward, I make this account because, of course, I feel like, the follows are more intentional, and I am so astonished by the growth of this account and the follows and the likes and the comments and everything. The support is amazing. I'm blown away. So I appreciate you guys so much. So anyway, I had a conversation with Bree yesterday, and I recognized that there was very little that she could do to make that her own page because it was tied to me for so long.
She was co-managing it with you. There were collaborative efforts going on. There were projects in the process. I mean, that's what we were told. Bree would not lead your followers to believe something that wasn't accurate. So GRB says she just realized that Bree couldn't do anything with the account. The account was tied to her. People followed her on the account for her content, pretty much, right? Her post-release journey and her source. They did not follow her for Blown Beauty Art either, or the podcast. It kind of doesn't make sense here because, again, those are completely different entities than Gypsy Rose. Sure, they're tied to Gypsy Rose, but when she changed it to Blown Beauty Art, the content was gone. It was just her canvases with paint and shells and glitter glued. People followed for her, not Bree, not Blown Beauty Art, and certainly not the upcoming podcast that's not even up and running yet.
So even when she would go live on it, she would get reported and blah, blah, blah. So I had a conversation with her, and I was like, well, is it okay if I clear it off and make it a podcast page? Because I am going to be launching my own podcast.
So clearly, and especially with the foregoing, it wasn't branding. The problem was the friend running the page and getting it reported and the risk of losing it. It was just too risky. So GRB got rid of the problem, which she does.
In the upcoming months. We're still in pre-production, finalizing the logistics, so it hasn't started yet. So anyway, she's like, yeah, that's not a problem. It's your account. You can do whatever you want with it. So
real quick before we move on to this part. So now GRB has created this brand new personal TikTok page that she says is for intentional followers. People that are following her for her journey, not the sensationalism of the case. I believe she's on her 4th TikTok account, not counting the burner accounts that she has. And she has a lot of them. Ryan Anderson even confirmed this. That matches the pattern of GRB having multiple FB accounts up until she unalived her mother.
I ended up taking it back, and when I went to change the phone number, I realized it was hacked this whole time. So me and Bree were never locked out of the account, so it went unnoticed until I looked at the recent logins or the logins, and it said like Turkey and Amsterdam and all this kind of stuff. So I'm like, it's been hacked this whole time. Locked the account, and now I am just going through the recovery of the account process. So good thing is I've done it before, because God knows I've been hacked many times.
Gypsy is claiming she was hacked, but nothing was really touched. Nobody was logged out. You're going to get those notifications that somebody is trying to get into your account. Now, a VPN could easily explain Amsterdam and Istanbul. Which one was it? Was it when she went to check recent logins, or when she went to change the phone number? Somehow was never alerted. If there is one thing GRB will always do, is tell on herself.
So the account will most likely get back in my possession, and I can go on to, keep it as a podcast page. Many podcasters have a secondary page for their podcast to promote their podcast, show little clips and whatnot. For example, Kale Lowry, Tana Mongeau, Trisha Paytas, all of them have their own personal account as well as their account for their podcast. So I'm really excited, and I hope you guys continue to follow, and I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for the support. You guys are the most amazing supporters. I love my drip babes. So I'm sending my love and my hugs to y'all. I hope that clears up any confusion that is going on right now. So I'm just sending my love. Bye.
Defending having a podcast page, but just said she wanted intentional followers from now on, but those are somehow not. Clearly, she made that distinction for us, and said people like Trisha Paytas, Kale Lowry, who had Gypsy Rose on her podcast a year ago, said that if she would have known the things she knows now about GRB, she would have never had her on. You could have done your research, because you can just search GRB, Gypsy Rose, all the groups will come up, and you would have seen some of the information, like the evidence of the case, which explains everything and explains the exact opposite of what GRB has been putting out here, as well as all of the conflicting information. We're at the same point. None of this makes any sense whatsoever, other than it has to be a distraction. Those Gypstein files must be wild. And guys, they're not even all out yet. Just like Sheriff Arnott said, who is holding the press conference on GRB's case, things aren't always as they appear. That's what he said. The more you dig into this case, y'all, the wilder it gets. If you don't follow me already, go ahead and hit that follow button for updates, Gypsy Rose T evidence, FOIA evidence, and more Gypstein file content.
Where are we looking? Oh, okay. We all know that Gypsy Rose will use people to her advantage. Does she? I guess. And then she tosses them away and throws them. I had a sister that I don't talk to anymore, so I don't consider her a sister. But I had a sister. She used to take advantage and use me all the time. You know what I'm saying? I didn't stand for that shit, though. I put a stop to it. I put some boundaries up, and I said, no more. Mary, you can't be doing that shit no more to me. So I haven't talked to her in a couple of years. But family's family. It'll be another day. She'll get a hold of me. We'll start talking. I know it. But for now, she's got to learn her lesson. But, she'll throw them under the bus and into the ring of fire to fend for themselves. For example, Ryan, Nick, and of course, Bree at the same time. So she's been doing this to a lot of people. And throughout her whole life, it looks like here. But Bree, Ryan, and even Nick have all stated that their feelings for Gypsy Rose are of undying loyalty. Okay, now that kind of loyalty is what I call mobster loyalty. Like, you're just never going to turn your back, not ever going to become a snitch. Don't you become no rat. Or you are cutting ties just by doing that. But there's people out there that's got that undying loyalty. Like, Uncle Randy, he was off with them guys for a long time. Don't you remember? And then Then it's just like this loyalty. They'll go ahead and defend and defend and defend. And they never set no damn boundaries. They never do nothing like just defend, defend, defend. And then they've got this person's back for God knows what and God knows how long. You know, it's simply stupid to me, if you're asking me. And it says here that if after Gypsy Rose made that nasty video saying Bree's not my manager, throwing under the bus like that, Bree still goes on her live stream and is over there saying, oh, it's all good, and defending Gypsy Rose. Why? What kind of shit is that? You know? And then Audrey went live on TikTok. She went over the whole foyer of it all of it. She also then made a video or reading what the officer stated, because of some reason in his report, which is always done right after an arrest, because our Uncle Joe the third, he is ex-cop, and he would tell me about all the reports. Sometimes, you know, he wouldn't want to write a report, so we just won't talk about it. But he was a cop for a long time, and until he got caught tampering with the evidence, he was taking some of the drugs that they had enough. They could have shared. You know, that's all I'm saying. He's not a bad guy. Don't think of him as a bad guy. But he was an ex-cop. He used to tell me about the reports. Apparently, she was apparently very fidgety and explained there was an emergency she had to get to with her sister, or Gypsy Rose's sister. It's for some reason she had to bring up she's a huge advocate for her best friend, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Why does she have to do that? And it's over
that's
7
all she's got going
grams
for
in your person. You said there was barely nothing. Hardly nothing there. I saw that in that when we was watching stuff last night. I saw that. I remember now. And it seems like you were distributing because they were in 2 separate containers. That's what a police officer is going to see that as, especially if you had any kind of little tiny baggies, anything like that. That'll all go with that, and it'll all be a charge. All right? And then you're going down for distributing, too. So you better watch it.
Okay, everybody, it is here. I have officially got the FOIA documents, and I did post a live going over all of them there. However, I wanted to post 2 pieces here. First up, we have the primary narrative by Calvin Cortez, which is the arresting officer. And it says, on 12/27/2025, at approximately 20:56 hours, Deputy Calvin Cortez observed a small gray car traveling southbound near 5375 Highway 308 Lockport with an inoperable taillight. Detective Cortez initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle near the intersection of Highway 308 and Linda Street, Lockport, for the observed violation. Contact was then made with operator Brianna, who was advised of the reason for the stop. Brianna was observed to be moving frantically and nervously when speaking to Detective Cortez. Bree was then instructed to exit the vehicle, where she was requested to provide her driver's license and proof of vehicle insurance. Upon request, she provided her driver's license and proceeded to inform Detective Cortez that the vehicle belonged to her brother-in-law. She advised that the vehicle was uninsured and that the license plate did not belong to the car. Bree proceeded to respond in a hasty and nervous manner when asked where she was headed to and coming from. Bree advised that she was headed southbound to a friend's due to an emergency. When asked what the emergency was, she advised that she was a big advocate of Gypsy Rose and that she needed to get Rose's sister. She was unable to provide a direct answer in regards to the claim of the emergency. Detective Cortez then requested her driver's license a second time, to which she fully displayed the license on her cell phone. While verifying the validity of the license plate posted on the vehicle through NCIC, it was confirmed to be registered to a red Dodge truck. Bree was unable to provide proof of insurance, to which LPSO dispatch confirmed that the vehicle was not insured. In doing so, Detective Cortez simultaneously requested that K-9 Detective Isaac and his canine partner conduct an open-air sniff on the vehicle, which resulted in a positive alert. Bree was then advised of her Miranda rights before proceeding. Deputies then began to search the vehicle, where 2 small containers were located in Bree's purse. Container 1 was observed to be a small tube with a black rubber band containing 2.2 gross grams of suspected methamphetamine. Container 2 was observed to be a small cylinder capsule containing 5.5 gross grams of suspected methamphetamines. Bree was then placed into custody for possession of the stated suspected illegal narcotics. She was then transported to 4601 Highway 1, Raceland, St. Anne Hospital for medical clearance before being transported to LPCC for booking. Additionally, they went on live after this happened and after I had contacted the police department and told everybody that the police officer told me the person that paid for her bond was somebody whose last name started with a letter M. And then I said, Sheena, I'm looking at you, babe. And Sheena went on a live and said, Audrey's lying. They never told her that. Well, Sheena, you paid her bond.
And then Krusty of all people, went on live to talk about Bree's arrest. Oh, okay.
Krusty's Gypsy Rose's
And
stepmother.
I agree with the page with T for not bullying Bree if she does have an addiction, because we've all, my Aunt Sandy, she had an addiction for years. She just one day decided she wanted to get clean. They got to do it on their own. Okay.
No one cares about the family.
Christy Blanchard jumped on a live panel recently to talk about Bree, Gypsy's best friend, her arrest. I wasn't really going to post about this just because I don't really condone bullying. I don't want to bully someone that is in addiction just because I've been there myself, even if the person is a bully themselves. But just because Christy jumped on this live panel, I thought I would share it with you guys, and I just cropped out that part. So here's that.
Listen, that night, me and Gypsy were in the living room. Gypsy and Sheena were on the phone. And yes, my natural hair color is black. So when we decided who was going to go get Bree, I was like, I'm going to go because it was foggy too. Not a lot of fog. And when I got there, one of the officers came up to me and the first thing I said was, I didn't know that y'all were forming a parade route to bring Bree to my house. And he kind of giggled and I was like, then I said, how is she? Because I know she gets nervous. He was like, she's all right. She was real nervous a while ago. I was like, okay. He's like, well, you can't get her. I'm looking at him like, why? Really confused. And he said, we found a substance in her car. I can't tell you what it is, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, well, y'all doing a good job of making y'all quota because it was almost the end of the year and Lindsay got stopped on the way going home, but they let her go. And it was just like, my God, freaking out, about it. And, I was just real nice to them. And they, like I said, they were really nice to me. And I asked them if I could go and see Bree and just give her a hug. And they were like, no, we're about to head out. Once again, we're sorry for you having to come out here. And I'm like, well, last thing I knew was Bree was on the phone. The people on the panel, so get me, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go because it would have took Gypsy like over an hour because she just drives slow, and then with the fog. And then when I got in my car, I called Gypsy immediately, and then talked to her, and then I think she in turn called Sheena. By the time I got home, they hadn't booked her yet.
No, that's like 1:30 in the morning, dude.
Yeah, I went to bed by I think Sheena. They said what 10:30, 11 o'clock. She would have been fully.
Let me see my phone. I wrote down Sheena's number, Scott's number, and Rogie's number, I want to say.
I know that Rogie had talked to Sheena or talked to Gypsy. I don't know if it was on the way coming back home or after I went to bed.
You know what, though? When they let me out the cell, the first thing the lady said, she's like, your friends really love you. I said, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it just made me, I got so emotional.
So what do you guys think after hearing that? And if you haven't already heard the FOIA police report, I would suggest going over to Audrey's page, and it's over there. After hearing about the FOIA and reading it, I 1000% believe that it was in fact Bree's stuff in that purse. And anybody going through that, I don't wish that on them. I pray that it gets better or they get help. Anyway.
Oh, but Krusty, she mentions quota. That's funny because your Uncle Joe used to tell us about the quota that they're not allowed to tell you about. Remember that? Yeah. But
Yeah,
Gypsy
I
also
remember that.
claimed that her TikTok was hacked. How you TikTok get hacked again? Didn't it get hacked before? I remember my niece is telling me something about that a while. Because I remember I was freaking out thinking we was all going to get hacked. And then my niece called me back. Oh, she was just being a liar. I said, who lies about something like that? What did this girl do again? She killed her mother. Oh my God. I just remembered. Now I see really why you talk about her. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Why is she not in prison? She needs to be locked up still. What the fuck is going on? But anyways, her stupid TikTok was hacked. Who cares? Oh, it's bound to get hacked. You murdered your mother, for God's sake. I don't know who would try to do things to you, you dumbass. Who does that? But your lies and your manipulation, they always have some kind of purpose, I guess, yeah. So what is this purpose, this reason for all of this nonsense, Gypsy Rose Blanchard? Oh, are you trying to hide something or cover something up? Are you trying to, get us to not think about all this bullshit that is going on with some FOIA documents? I think you are, because I know my Uncle Charlie, when he was going through some things and people was getting in his business a lot, boy, he tried everything he could to get us all to stop looking on, trying to dig things up on him, until one day we said, that's it, that's all. Uncle Charlie, we found you out, Oh, and this Becca Scoops lady, she cracks me up. I love her. Oh, she made me laugh with this TikTok with a cat and stuff. Watch, this is so funny. It cracked me up.
Me and Bree were never locked out of the account, so it went unnoticed until I looked at the recent login.
Oh, this happens. You guys, this happens. Look, I have I gave away my YouTube account to my cat Keekins, otherwise known as Moo Moo. Keekins Moo Moo. We had a thing. We had an arrangement. I said, Keekins, I don't really want the YouTube account anymore. I want to go do another YouTube account where I have more intentional follows. Keekin took over the YouTube account, right? You guys know Keekins. Let me show you Keekins. I think I have a picture of Keekins here somewhere. Where are you, Keekins? Hold on here. I want to tell you this story. All right, my cat Keekins. I said, Keekins, I need my account back. I did. I said, Keekins, I need the account back. Please give it back to me, okay? And Keekin's like, sure. She's like, sure, you're gonna be doing whatever. And I'm like, yeah, great, okay? So I understand, guys, that these things happen. You give away your accounts to your pets or your BFF or your used to be BFF, and then you get hacked, right? Well, let me hear because this happened with Keekins when Keekins took over. Let me hear more of this, because you guys, people that are saying this isn't a real story, let me just look. I'm about telling the truth here. So let me actually hear what else she has to say.
Logins, and it said Turkey and Amsterdam and all this kind of third off and make it a podcast page, because I am going to be launching my own podcast in the upcoming months. We're still in pre-production, finalizing the logistics, so it hasn't started yet. So anyway, she's like, yeah, that's not a problem. It's your account. You can do whatever you want with it. So I ended up taking it back, and when I went to change the phone number, I realized it was hacked this whole time.
Oh, I said, you know what? Let me do the same thing with Bubba over there. I'll go ahead and give Bubba my account over here, okay? But no, he'll probably argue with me about getting it back. And won't let me just have it. Hell no. He's going to fight for that shit if I give it up, but it's not even that great. Giving away a 9 point whatever million per... What is wrong with you? Oh, wait, I forgot. She did say you're cognitively delayed. So, I understand. Now, Gypsy Rose really has a hold on the mainstream media, apparently. We, I guess, are all on this thing called the truth train. Okay, well, we're telling the truth, which I like to tell only the truth. So help me God. anyways, you know what I'm saying? Nobody have no time for no lies. I don't like liars either. And I hear that she's a big liar. And that's why I said I'm getting my ass over there because I need to learn about this Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Because all I've ever heard is what's come from mainstream media. I've watched all the documentaries. Here I was advocating for her. And I was like, yes, Gypsy Rose got out of prison. But now, no. Now that I'm learning all these lies and nonsense, Gypsy, what's wrong with you? No wonder she says you're like a disease. Oh, you are probably what made us sick, talking about your stupid ass all the time. But a viewer had gotten on live stream and asked TMZ in their live stream if they had seen the FOIA documents yet. Oh. But you know what happened with that? They ended up muting her for asking that question. Because why? You don't want it? You don't care about what's the truth? You only want what's the drama? Oh my God, this is insane. You know, this is just like what's going on politically and everything. Like, everything is just going nuts. The fucking world is going crazy. I should buy a bunker or something, you know? It doesn't even feel like sweater weather sometimes when it's supposed to. And I love, mind you, I love going camping and enjoying some sweater weather. Let me tell you. And this is too cold. This is cold weather. And then we'll go right to t-shirts and tank tops. But I won't bore you guys with the weather. Y'all on TMZ just want to keep on protecting a mommy murderer. Okay, whatever. To each their own. You want to walk around and protect things like that? I don't. So I'm going to talk about the truth. And I'm going to keep on putting it out. I'm going to help my baby niece do it. Protecting the narrative of a malicious fucking killer. It's insane to me, I'm telling you.
Honey, we knew that Gypsy Rose Alcida had TMZ in her little back pocket when she was in jail. We knew that she was feeding them information when she was in a damn non-disclosure agreement with Lifetime. But you would think, what the hell was that? You would think now that these videos have come out, they would change their tune. They'd be like, you know what? We got to cut ties. We ain't doing her no more favors. But no, there's a creator on here and I have tagged her, but she went into TMZ's live and she just asked them if they had seen Gypsy Rose's FOIA documents. And then she told them, you know, report on the truth. And honey, do you know what TMZ did? They end up muting her. And you can see that shit in real time. They don't even want people over in their comments bringing up the stuff to do with Gypsy Rose. They aren't going to address it. I guess they're never going to address any of the videos or talk about that shit. They don't mind talking about her haircuts and her divorce, but you know, talking about anything that shows that Gypsy Rose is indeed a psychopath, they ain't doing that. TMZ, I don't know what to think about that other than, well, it seems like you're protecting a mommy murderer and her narrative. Hey, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but y'all let me know what you think here in these comments, honey. This videos for entertainment purposes only, honey, my opinion, but it is not alleged. You saw it, TMZ muting folks because they asked about the Gypsy.
You would probably protect Diddy too. You probably do already. Oh no, you want to act like you don't like him, but you love a mommy murderer? Okay. And it tells me that Gypsy Rose, she's got to have some kind of spell over people. She's got to be into that witchcraft. Aunt Myra was into that for a long time, and she regrets it now, Gypsy Rose. It'll come back on you. So you better be careful. Better mind your P's and Q's. Watch what you're doing with that stuff. You're messing around with the dark stuff, and that's not okay, you know. And Bree says the arresting officer is a liar. How is the officer a liar, Bree? Are you lying? Because you're the one with the drugs in your bag. I'm just saying. She said she never mentioned Gypsy Rose's sister at all, but you do admit that you name bombed Gypsy Rose. You said Gypsy Rose. I'm an advocate for the Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Why would you say that? But whatever. I mean, if that's how you think you're going to get out of something, is name bombing a murderer, you've got some issues here. And Krusty said that if she would have heard from the officer that Bree had mentioned Mia at all, she would have corrected it. So that's whatever. But we are on the truth train, right? So, I'm done with all that Brie bullshit. I'm done with current events. Wait, I got this one last TikTok, though. I do want to show you guys about the whole situation. But it's truth. It's telling you guys the fucking truth here. All right? We're sick and tired of playing these games.
So the FOIA request for Brie, Gypsy's BFF, has come out and everybody's talking about it. To put things into perspective, she was caught with over 7 grams of methamphetamine. That's literally like 2 8-balls. That's a lot of drugs. Like, that's a lot. One person is not doing that much. I don't know who is doing it, but I can say for 100% certainty that one person is not using that much. One person would probably die from a heart attack from using that much. Unless it was like their 2-week stash and they did not plan to go to sleep for the next month or so. However, somebody said something about, Brie's friends really love her because they were calling the police department, this, that, and the other. A friend would not support you in your rug addiction. Friends actually tell you when you need to get help. Friends will try to do everything that they can to point you in the direction of seeking sobriety. They're not going to enable your poor choices and continue to be your friend. Those are not friends. Those are people who share mutual interests, and that mutual interest being the drug of choice. Friends are not going to sit around and get high with you unless they are also using. However, like I just said, if you are using together, you're not friends. You just have a mutual bad habit. And those are not friends when you are bonding over a negative thing like drug use. So she does not have friends because friends would hold her accountable and tell her that she needs to get help, not allow her to lie, and then also enable her to lie on social media about what is happening. They would force her to take accountability for her actions and get her the help that she needs.
We got to make sure the truth is out there. We do. We got to make sure. But Brie, you are in our prayers and our thoughts and everything like that. Nobody wants to see anybody in an addiction. I know I have a past problem. My baby niece over there does, and both of us don't want to sit here and hate on her for any kind of addiction issues. We just hope you get the help you need, Brie. And I might be a Gypsy Rose, truth teller, but I don't wish anybody any harm or anybody to go through anything like that. You know what I'm saying? We're still good people behind all this bitching about you, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. But now back on the train here. What choo-choo. She told me to see that, so I did. But, oh man, this hair. Now back on the truth train, like I said. So I want to talk about a story that my niece told me yesterday about what Gypsy Rose even said as a child. Can you imagine being spoken to like that? And how scared that other kid must have been? Oh, if I was their mother, I would have been so upset. Then it's also in reference to how Gypsy Rose treated her own mother before she took her life. So before you even unalived your own mother, you was also a little bitch to your mother. Your mother should have been beating your ass, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I don't know why she didn't take the spoon to you a couple good times. How dare you? But then again, she thought you was a sick kid. Here, you was the one, I guess, that was hiding the fact that you could walk. You was talking, being nasty with boys and stuff like that. When your mother thought you was so badly cognitively delayed that she was even trying to be the guardian of you and everything, from what I heard.
You're on the fast track to notoriety from the middle of a prison cell. It's really easy to reimagine yourself. to re-envision and paint a brand new picture of the person that you really are. It's even easier when you've been such a good actress for such a long time. And after all, you deserve your accolades. It's hard work shitting your pants and making your mother change it. This story was submitted to me by a viewer. Her name is Nicole. In the summer of 2011, her daughter shared the same activities coordinator as Gypsy Rose Blanchard. They planned a zoo night. Nicole's daughter at the time was considered nonverbal because she had a hard time speaking to others, but she was practicing a whole lot. Since it's a disability-friendly event, parents are encouraged to step back and allow the children to do the activity by themselves. Nicole was standing back behind her daughter, observing the situation close to Dee Dee. Dee Dee was speaking to zoo staff. Dee Dee's demeanor was really strange. Our typical Southern belle, sweet woman, who's usually bubbly, is on edge this evening. To Nicole's surprise, her daughter runs to her, crying, "We need to leave." Her daughter is on the spectrum, and she knows that she's very close to having a meltdown. She's at the age where her meltdowns are embarrassing to her, and she does not want her daughter to feel any kind of embarrassment, so they hijack it to the car. Once they get to the car and her daughter calms down, her daughter tells her what happened. Gypsy was at another table, and she asked her, "How can you change your voice like that?" Since her daughter was 8, she was fascinated at the fact that Gypsy Rose was able to change her voice at any given time. Gypsy looked at this 8-year-old and said, "The same way I'll use my thumbs to push your eyeballs to the back of your skull." I want you to sit with that for a minute. And I want you to think about what we know about Gypsy Rose now. If we have a daughter, when she turns 13, I'll let you take her, because you're the master of the house, of course. And she looked at an 8-year-old child at a disability-friendly event and told them she would take her thumbs and push her eyeballs to the back of her skull. Now, here's an even more enlightening thing from Nicole's daughter at the time. Nicole's daughter did not like her. Nicole's daughter said that she was a spoiled brat. Nicole's daughter picked up on the fact that this person's a bad seed very early on. Nicole did the responsible thing and she reported it to the service coordinator. And the service coordinator said there was just nothing they could do, and there probably wouldn't be any disciplinary action. Because of this, it forced Nicole to keep her daughter home and not return to any more activities because they knew that Gypsy would be there. And her daughter, rightfully so, did not want to see Gypsy at all ever again. Even more peculiar, Dee Dee was acting like a battered spouse, as if she was afraid of Gypsy. The event took place at Dickerson Zoo in Springfield, Missouri. And there were several other disability-friendly events that were coordinated for her daughter and Gypsy to be at the same time. Milk and cookies with Santa, art walks downtown. The reason her daughter was prompted to ask this question to begin with was the way that she had asked for paint. She asked for it in a more normal voice instead of her high-pitched, baby, infantile, poor me voice that she usually uses. Nicole said that the reason that she compared Dee Dee to a battered spouse was the way that Gypsy had asked for a drink. She said, "I want a drink." And Dee Dee immediately jumped up and ran around very flustered, as if it was all her fault that she didn't think 10 steps ahead to hand her one. Much like our friend V, Nicole feels the same way about Gypsy Rose. She was the first person with a disability that she couldn't find anything to like. Even added, it doesn't feel good to think that way about somebody, especially if they have a disability and especially if they're a child. But Nicole, I think we can let you off the hook for that because she turned out to be neither one. If you were wondering how this impacted Nicole's daughter, it absolutely did not. Nicole's daughter went on to grow up, graduate high school, go to college, and become a vet tech, even showing her independence and moving 2 hours away from home at first to complete her college courses. Nicole's ran into a bad spell with her health, and her daughter has decided to move home and help take care of her. See, Gypsy? There are plenty of people who have a hard life and they grow past what they go through and they become better people. They don't murder their mother and then use it as a stepping stone to become an influencer. They just keep going through their hardship because they know it's just a little further and they work really hard to turn their lives around. But we know that you'll never do that. Now, if you like content like this, do me a favor and go ahead and press all these buttons. Make sure you drop your comment down below so we can keep the conversation going. How do you feel about this story about Gypsy Rose Blanchard? I hope you have a beautiful day. Please stay blessed, stay happy, stay safe, and stay full. And please, for the love of God, remember not to shit your pants. And I will talk to you later. Bye.
Wow. I mean, this is fucking wild to me, learning all this stuff here. I mean, I can't even take it all in one sitting. I'm going to have to come back and talk some more and figure this shit out. I got my daughter here to help as well, so you'll probably meet my daughter eventually here. But she's going to try to make out a video while baby gal is sick too. So we'll see what comes. But man, I can't even believe that. To know that you was even mean to your mother before you decided to take her life and then say that it was all her fault that you... Oh my God. Oh my God. You needed the spoon. You need the belt, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Holy shit. And I don't usually condone that kind of thing, but the things you was doing and thinking, the things that going through your minds, you needed something. You needed something. And it was all... My niece told me that you used to be abusive to animals as well. What did the animals ever do to you, Gypsy Rose Blanchard? Allegedly, that is. Now, what does that even tell you, though? If someone can be mean to other kids, be mean to their own mother, be mean to these animals, of course, they're going to end up being some kind of murderer. You know? Sociopathic type shit. She's a psychotic bitch. Oh, this is insanity. I know a few cats in New York City that would love to have you for lunch, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. They would take that on in a second, finding out what you did. But Gypsy Rose would probably just try to manipulate her way out of it like she manipulates her way out of anything and everything. But look at how thin you've gotten as well, Gypsy Rose. You know, you're so tiny that it would actually be like a snack for the people in my city. Let me tell you something. But notice that your mommy's not here anymore to starve you or malnutrition you or not give you this or that, right? So what's going on? Are you not able to thrive anymore by yourself because of your microdeletion? Oh, what were you going to say? If we didn't find out about this microdeletion, what were you going to tell us was the reason you was losing all this weight? The kid listening to metal with the spiked hair and the collar on and all that shit. Like, my kids have gone through that. My daughter and everything went through those emo and those gothic phases, you know. But that's not always the case. It's not always them that you got to look at. Sometimes it's the sweet, tiny little gal in a wheelchair trying to act like she's a disabled young gal, but she's actually a grown woman. Acting that way and then going home at night and talking nasty to a boy on the computer. And Gypsy Rose, it seems to me like you would change who you are for every person you came into contact with because you don't have a true identity for yourself. Gypsy Rose manipulated Nick, obviously. Even Nick Godejohn's defense attorney was talking about how Gypsy Rose was so manipulative and that he has type 2 autism and she didn't care. All she saw that as is he's somebody impressionable that I can manipulate to be whoever. And Gypsy Rose, you knew how impressionable Nick would be because of your interactions with kids with autism, and especially like that one you said that you would push her eyeballs back in the back of her head. If you ever said that to my daughter, I swear to God, it'd be the end of your life, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And it's most likely her using his autism against him so that he would do her dirty work, and she knew it would work just fine. And she used her sex, her ability to be so seductive in these stupid ass little videos that you made so that he would do whatever you wanted. You seduced him. You got him under some kind of fucking puppet spell to do whatever you want. And he's still to this day, after he knows that you used him and betrayed him, he still to this day says he won't go back on his word and that he loves you still to this very day. For what reason? Dan Glidewell, the one that you was telling him that was in love with you, why you had to tell him that, I don't know. You just felt the need, but I think I do know. I'm going to explain it in the next video over, because this one's getting kind of long. But, yeah. You introduced all that BDSM and shit like that to Dan Glidewell. So we all know that you was even trying to get him into this vampire thing with you and yada yada, because how else would it happen? He's dressed up like a vampire? Could have been for Halloween. I don't know. But we all know that you had introduced all that shit to him to. And there's also a comment here found on Reddit that says that, here, we'll read it out loud.
I lived in Springfield, while all this was going down, and remember seeing those comments on the KY3 posts, LMAO. I was always like, who the hell? LMAO? Smiley face emoji. She is such a lying psychopath. My husband is also a former police officer, and our friends worked on the whole murder case. A man who, oh man, the stories I have heard from them are absolutely wild. Let's just say Nick stabbed a corpse, and he was the fall guy. Gypsy killed her, and Dan helped. That is crazy, you guys.
But focusing on that ending part there, that Nick Godejohn stabbed a corpse. She was already unalive by the time Nick got there, wasn't she, Gypsy Rose Blanchard? Oh my God, he was just the fall guy. The one that was supposed to just take the fall. That's it. That's the only thing he had to do. But Gypsy Rose used a manipulative tactic where Gypsy makes Nick think that there's some kind of competition between him and this other guy, and that he better step up his game, and the only way he's going to be able to prove himself to her is if he's violent and unalives her own mother. You know, I can't hardly even read it. How much longer is this video, baby girl? Okay. But Gypsy Rose, we all know she loves for these men to be fighting over her, it looks like. I'm telling ya, she wants them all to be brawling. You know, my Aunt Shirley and Uncle Todd and all them, they was into all that nonsense too at one point in their lives. Now they want peace and quiet. You should have thought about that, Gypsy Rose.
I'm so sorry about those texts I sent you. What happened was, I was trying to explain to you in a short text, which was a bad idea because I should have waited till you were online with me. That yes, I have this friend, and he has developed these feelings for me. He's fallen in love with me. I didn't do anything to make him feel that way about me. It's just we were friends, and I guess something clicked in his heart or whatever for me. Anyway, I don't have feelings for him. I care about him, but as a friend. It wouldn't make it doesn't really matter if he's a guy or if he's a girl, whatever, and it's not because Demona has this bisexual thing. No. What I'm trying to say is the feelings that I have are just simple friend feelings. I care about him as a friend.
She had Ken and Ryan fighting over her, a bunch of men in the damn emails that I looked at. Then you had Nick and this guy in competition with each other. Are you kidding me right now? Think about it, though. She was out there portraying a sick child during the motherfucking day with her mother, and then completely switching it up by the nighttime, and like I said, talking to these boys like that. Using that nasty language. Should be ashamed of herself. But why is her ability to manipulate just so captivating that these people fall to pieces over her? You know what I'm saying? It's that sociopathic and that ASPD charm. I'm telling ya, ASPD will also mean that people will socially dominate the conversations that they have with them, with their charming their victims, like a salesperson is throwing a pitch. You know what I'm saying?
Antisocial personality disorder isn't just serial killers. It's your charming coworker who ruins lives without guilt. Follow because 1 in 25 people have this, and you need to spot them. ASPD is characterized by consistent disregard for right and wrong, lying and manipulation, lack of remorse, using charm to exploit others, and breaking rules without consequence, anxiety. They're not all violent criminals. Many are successful professionals, CEOs, lawyers, surgeons, politicians, fields where ruthlessness is rewarded. The difference from narcissists. Narcissists want admiration. People with ASPD want control and don't care if you hate them as long as they win. They're master manipulators who study people like prey. They know exactly what to say to get what they want. Charm is a tool, not genuine warmth. They don't feel guilt. When they hurt you, they don't lose sleep. They might apologize, but only if it serves them, not because they feel bad. Research shows their brains process fear and consequences differently. They literally don't experience anxiety about getting caught. Have you known someone who lied constantly and felt zero guilt when caught? Here are the manipulation tactics people with antisocial personality disorder use to control everyone around them, pitting people against each other. They tell person A that person B is undermining them, then tell B that A is talking behind their back. Everyone fights while they stay in control. Strategic vulnerability. They share a fake, painful truth to build trust, then use your real vulnerability against you later. Their confession was bait, rule-bending while appearing compliant. They find loopholes, exploit technicalities, and break the spirit of rules while following the letter. When caught, they claim innocence. Preemptive strikes. If they sense you're catching on, they discredit you first. They tell everyone you're unstable, lying, or incompetent before you can expose them. How to protect yourself. Document everything. They lie convincingly and people believe them over you. Paper trails save you. Gray rock at work. Give them nothing emotional to work with. Be professionally boring. Have you worked with someone everyone loved but you knew was manipulating them? Follow for more psychological disorders explained.
The less time the victim has to think about the situation, the more time that they have to persuade and manipulate. It's so sick. The manipulations to control are things like them pinning people against each other. Like how she will get all of us content creators, and Baby Gail's told me, all of you content creators against each other. And I said, you better watch out, because that could be her just doing this to get you all fighting. And it has worked in the past, but we have to be aware. Okay? You know, she'll find loopholes. She'll exploit technicalities. Okay? She'll break rules as needed, as she needs to achieve her goals. Okay? And then here's a young lady that says that she has actually been professionally diagnosed with ASPD and NPD, which is usually what's needed to make a sociopath, or not make a sociopath, make a psychotic person, you know?
Manipulation isn't just something I do, it's literally woven into the core fabric of who I am. If you're new to my page, I'm professionally diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder and narcissistic personality disorder. As a sociopath, I had to learn to adapt to very traumatic shit at a young age, and I had to learn how to manipulate, lie, and deceive in order to get my needs met, and that has stuck with me through my entire life. Now, I manipulate people both consciously and unconsciously. It's not always something that I'm aware that I'm doing because it is so natural to me. It's literally second nature. Because I don't have emotions like remorse and shame when it comes to manipulating to tell me that I'm doing something wrong, I often don't even realize that I'm doing something wrong, and when I do realize it, I just don't care. Because ultimately, my needs are far more important than anybody else on this planet. I manipulate consciously and I'm aware of what I'm doing. However, there are still a lot of times where I don't even realize I'm doing it because it is something that's so normal to me. This, as well as being intellectually gifted, are largely why I am such a skilled manipulator. I'm not this cocky anymore, but I used to believe that I could truly get anything that I wanted or get myself out of any situation through manipulating, lying, and deceiving others. And while that's grandiose, this actually has helped me get out of a lot of sticky situations in my life and helped me obtain a lot of resources that I needed. I'm actually grateful for the skills that I have and for being a high Machiavellian because I do feel that it has helped me a lot in my life. It would help me even more if I learned how to stop doing it subconsciously and automatically so that it was always my choice of when I was doing it, because typically when I get into sticky situations from my behavior, it's because I didn't realize I was doing it. In a lot of situations, I feel that I'd be stupid to not manipulate the situation because otherwise I wouldn't get what I want, and I don't really feel like morals go above me getting what I want. I might not be right about this because I don't understand feelings of guilt, but to me it seems kind of how it seems to be an automatic response when somebody feels guilty for them to apologize. Manipulation is that automatic for me. These tactics that I use and these behaviors and thought processes that I have are so deeply ingrained into who I am that I don't know who I would be without them. I'm slowly trying to rein in and learn how to control these behaviors rather than have them control me, but ultimately at the end of the day I do view being manipulative as a good thing. These behaviors are how I learned how to survive and deal with situations and distress, and when I don't have those behaviors as an option or I choose not to use them, I can get very frustrated on how I'm supposed to get what I want, and I have a hard time accepting. I've noticed in a few different situations when I'm not able to manipulate, I get extremely frustrated, and I actually sometimes don't know how to even deal with the situation at hand without doing those things. A lot of people, including my wife, are very off-put by the fact that I like that I'm manipulative, but honestly, I don't really see anything wrong with liking being like that as long as I'm not using it for evil. Manipulation isn't just something I do, it's literally...
If this is her story and how someone can thrive out there in this world with these issues, Gypsy Rose, you would know. But you could have thrived with, you could still have your mother to this day, even though you didn't want to. But if you didn't want to, all you had to do is cut ties with your mom. She was already throwing your ass to the curb as it was. You could tell by the crime scene photos. I was looking at those. And to try to understand all of this entirely, I got to learn from other sources as well. So that's why I like showing you all that stuff too, because I'm still trying to learn the best I can about this Gypsy Rose nonsense. So I do hope you guys enjoyed the content with me today. Do you guys believe that Gypsy Rose has some kind of manipulative spell over certain people? Do you think that she's so captivating and so charming that she just wins these hearts? I don't know, guys. It's really strange, really diabolical. Like I said, Shirley, Todd, Joe, the other Joe, all of them, Charlie. My family is dysfunctional as well, but none of us have killed our mother. None of us, not one. When psychopaths like Gypsy Rose Blanchard start to realize that you see through their bullshit, that's when they start to crash out. So let's just wait and see. She'll reveal herself more and more as time goes on if we allow it. So just be quiet and let it talk. Let it cook. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Baby gal says that she loves you. And goodbye for now, but it's not forever.